Mic check 1 2 1 2. Let me go get some water real quick. All right. So, welcome everybody. What up? What up, everybody? Okay. Okay. Let's see here. All right. So, okay. That hurt. Shit. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with my shoulder, but like something pinched me. All right. So we here in the building. Mhm. So we'll get started. That's dope. So let's get started. And you can do everything first. Oh wow. Okay. All right. So we just getting started and making sure everything sounds good, looks good for the program. Okay, we live now, and you can't see me, so that's good. All right. So y'all, it's crazy because everybody is talking about Charlie Kirk, and matter of fact, I'm gonna put on here. I'm gonna ask. What did he stand for? And then why was he teaching or preaching at colleges? Okay, so I want to talk about Charlie Kirk a little bit and what's been going on here in America, and what I think that we need to be cautious of, like really be cautious of, like it really is serious. Um, to a point, like a lot of our friends, our white friends, are saying things online, uh, kind of sneak. That's the thing about all of this in racism in America. It's like America want to sneak and hide their racism. It's like I'm not going to put it on the surface. I don't know if it's because they're afraid to, but it's like I'm not going to put it on surface. It's always been hidden in America, um, more cowardly than anything. And like that's why when something like this happened, they all come out as like, "Fuck it, we finna do exactly what we've been thinking," and we like, "Huh?" Like we don't have no clue the hate they've been harboring this whole time against us. You know what I'm saying? People are pointing out the fact that it's a white shooter who shot a white man, which is bad. Nobody's saying it's not bad, but then for the fact that y'all immediately turn it to HBCU colleges. Now, black people, black kids can't go to college of fear for 2 days. That's the KKK, mass fear on black people. I don't. We did. A lot of us didn't know. I heard of Charlie Kirk, and I kind of knew who he was. A lot of y'all don't know that Charlie Kirk was around the first Trump administration. And see, what they were doing is they were targeting younger generations, trying to flip them to conservatism, or maybe even something even more sinister. We say conservatism anymore or Republican, but it might take a. Somebody pointed out today. Did you see all those white people, white young men at that? It was almost like a concert. He was radicalizing all of those white young college kids, just radicalizing them. Everything that he believed, he was going to those college preaching to them. Now, me growing up, I always thought that you couldn't really preach to people like that unless you had some type of degree. That we as a society should not let anybody be preaching to a mass amount of people like that unless they have a degree in something. Like, because why are you? Otherwise, you could get in a position like I think this was your own beliefs, your own ideologies you're putting on other people. Here's my example. If Kirk was truly concerned about black people and our plight in the world, why would you go to a theater full of white people and bash black people? You know what I'm saying? There's no fathers in the in the household. That's why we're bad. Because there is some truth to that. Don't get me wrong, there is some truth to us not having fathers in the household. But you have to go to where that you have to go back. Who created the environment for females to live off the government, to basically X the men out of the marriage? You see, America has America has a way of their past sins, things that they set up, like almost like you throw a rock at a glass house and you go hide. Because everybody know, well, I ain't gonna say everybody know, but if you study history, you'll know like the projects were made where black men couldn't live in a project with a girl and their kids. That was the government set that up. So eventually the black female is going to say, hey, in order for me to get all these benefits, I got to get rid of you. You know what I'm saying? I was in that situation. Luckily, she loved me, but anytime that she got mad at me, she could have been like, yo, you got to leave because I'm the only one getting the government assistance. I'm the only one getting the food stamps. I'm the one with the kids. You got to leave. So America kind of created that environment to where, and then the years and years of black men not getting jobs, so we can't even build ourselves up to, and I'm saying as a whole, we can't even build ourselves up to, we're prominent and we're getting the same money as our white counterparts. So a lot of times we the struggle in a relationship because we can't get the same $100,000 job that somebody else can get. You know what I'm saying? So any relationship that we was in, 60s, 70s, we was the ones really, the struggle. We were struggling. Black women are still struggling, but why struggle with a man? So America made it to where black men wasn't invited into the home. You see what I'm saying? So Carly, Charlie Kirk, or anybody out there who goes out there and say, well, black men aren't in the family, that's disingenuous. And then you're preaching that stuff to white people, and they're like, yeah, yeah. And they don't know the background of it. They're like, damn, these black men out here don't want to raise their kids, all that. Not knowing that there's a lot of black women out there because they've been taken care of by the government's life. Like, I don't want you in my life. I don't want you. You know, my kids. If you don't want to be, or if you don't want to be with me, you can't be with my kids. You know, so a lot of that is going on. But see, you don't get the background. They just go out there and preach that black people hunt around their kids. They don't want to be with their kids, and that's not true. I hear so many times, man, if she wasn't like this, she let me back in my, why is she doing this to me? Why she hold me back? Because society is set up to keep them out of the household. That's a known fact. The average white person wouldn't know that because they don't live like that. You know what I'm saying? So the average white person would have no clue that this type of stuff goes on or have went on. So whatever he's spewing, they're like, yeah, that is true. The black people ain't in the household. They must be lazy. They must be bums or something like that. Like that's the type of stuff he was preaching against black people. Black people are DEI. If you tell a bunch of kids, college kids, that, hey, you get on a plane and you see a black pilot, you should be scared out of your mind. Because they don't know what they're doing, obviously. So you judging somebody when you first see them as a trained person, and I'm telling you, like these people, especially if a black person got an airplane job and got to a point where they're the pilot, they done trained their ass off. You can't never tell me that somebody black can do something just as good or maybe 10 times better than anybody else. You can't tell me that. So this person studied, went to school, got his grades right, because you really got to straighten up. I'm saying you got to straighten up. You can't be out here in the streets and all that and then have an education too. That's just not possible. And they know that because they don't do, well, they may, but it's impossible to do that like that when you're black. So to get in that position, we already understand, yeah, this dude had to do something. Had nothing to do with DEI. You know what I'm saying? You might have gotten that class, but you earned that position that you're in right now as a pilot. So he has all these people come into this situation to where if they come on a plane, then the first thing, and they see a black person, the first thing they're gonna think is, this ain't right. I should be scared. Like this is what he's telling people. This ain't coming from my mouth. This is what he was telling people. So my question is, why was he allowed to go to those colleges and speak to those kids? And the answer is because they was indoctrinating those kids. He was indoctrinating them. For the whole 4 years, or for the whole term, Kamala was running, or Biden, or Obama, that they were screaming on top of their head, they indoctrinating kids from college. They indoctrinating kids from college. That's wrong. That's so. And as soon as they got into office, they went straight to indoctrinating kids with hate. It's not love. It's either one. We're not going to dick around. It's either one or two. Either you're preaching love or you're preaching hate. And you can't say, oh, he's just preaching tough love. If that was the case, we don't need ever we don't ever need some white man going around telling the plight of black people and how we should feel and how we should conduct. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, then you need to have black people. We need to have, not just a few black people sprinkled in, because they can't speak for all black people. You feel what I'm saying? And they may get a point across, but I've seen the way he speaks, he's to a point where he'll sit there, he'll listen, he might not be looking at you. And so what he's doing is he's searching for the passages and the things in his head to say to counteract whatever you say. So you ain't never gonna be spot on. Anything you say, he gonna take what you said and pivot off of that. That's what South Park was just doing. One lady said, "Well, how you gonna tell me what I can do with my body?" And then he would sit there and think while she asking the question, he thinking he like, "Well, if you shoot somebody pregnant, that'll be double homicide, right?" You know, so I'm just saying he's going to take your questions, and as you're asking these questions, he's formulating his mind without even really. It's not a communication. To communicate with somebody, you have to look them in the eye as they're speaking, not think of what you're going to say next, and just absorb to what they're talking about, and maybe repeat back to what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So he's good at what you would think would be was a debate. It's not a conversation, it's a debate. So whatever you say, then I need to come back at you with something to shut you down. That's not a conversation because somebody be telling you, "Hey, this is how I feel." Like the woman was telling them, "This is how we feel as women," and that just goes out one ear. "Hey, this is what I feel, and this is what you need to do." Period. We have somebody like that, a black dude like that, who's to go around and tell women exactly what they need to do, and he's no longer with us either. Like you can't incite your views on everybody else, but that's exactly what he's doing. And he had a lot of followers. He had a lot of freaking followers. Somebody pointed out all those white people there, all those white young men with impressionable minds. That's what y'all got to look at, man. So, um, so sorry, I had to take care of some business real quick. Okay, so and y'all can leave your comments too if you got comments. Damn, I gotta go see that shit. They is snapping on. Okay, let me see here. Can you wrap this, Charlie? Like 8 a.m. Okay, so and then like everybody else, they know like what he was about. Like they see it. Like they see it. Like black people are now black people are now are starting to see like what he stood for. Y'all see what he stood for, and they starting to do their research. Because here's the thing, um, this is what I didn't know. I didn't know that I didn't know that a lot of people didn't know about Kirk, Charlie Kirk. Had no clue who he was, and that was but by design. They didn't want to make too many waves. So black people would catch on and be like, "What is this?" You know what I'm saying? Because like that's what they're doing right now. They're like, "What is?" They're like, "Man, that's bad." What? They black people are like when they look at their phone and saw that here, follow me. They looked at their phone and they was like, "Man, that's bad. That's some old JFK type stuff." And then so immediately in their mind they start because black people are they very inquisitive and they don't believe everything you throw out to them. They gonna question. So that's the way we have to be. So the next question in my mind was, "That's bad. That's horrible. Nobody should go through that because we have sympathy. Like empathy is our that's just built into it. Like, dang, that's bad. We get sad, and then questions start coming in the mind like, who was he? Why was somebody targeting him like that?" And you go to your other examples of why somebody would be shot in the head, MLK, uh, JFK. But I'm not saying like in the same fact that they're the same as he was as a person, but you start to understand that somebody hated him so much that they wanted to kill him in front of everybody, in front of the whole world to prove their point. So in doing that, he had to be straight up pissing somebody off. Evil was involved. That's all you can say. Evil had to be involved in this whole thing. Evil. Um, we start thinking in our head like, who could it have had been? We know. And then you get the clues. It's a rifle. It's a whole Utah. It's a whole white field town. You know, if somebody was black and they did that, they couldn't run and not be seen because they black. So you automatically know, man, this is a white man shooting another white man, white on white violence. We don't we don't carry out our stuff like that. That's movie type stuff. We don't carry out stuff like that. It'd be in the streets or some shit. You feel what I'm saying? Or we come in your house. We don't carry out executions like that. So, process of elimination, it was a white man. The Trump assassination process, it's a white man. It don't take us long to come to that conclusion. At the other hand, you have news organizations. Oh, we don't know at this time, and this. Well, no, we know. The only thing that threw me off was that dude who was going around in their car shooting people. But then as clues came out, it was like, yeah, he probably black. You know, I think one of the comedians, Chris Rock, one of the comedians was like, no, Dave Chappelle cracked it open. He was like, because he taking the weekends off. That's black people. I mean, he was joking about it, but it's like we know, like that is reminiscent of what black people do. You're gonna take the weekends off. Uh, so we kind of got that sixth sense almost because we've been given that sixth sense because we've been through so much, you know. So we've been given that sixth sense like that. So um, we ain't we more we quicker than that. I should say, not because we special. Or I don't say we could be. We are kind of special, but we've had to have that seventh sense to survive in a land to where the same people, used to keep us captive. So we have to keep that same sense. Well, wait a minute, this ain't right. That ain't right. Wait a minute. That's our survival skill that most people might not have. Um, so we got that. So it's 7 cents, 8 cents, 9 cents. We got that ingrained in us, right? So we already automatically know the shooter wasn't a black shooter, you know, which didn't make us feel no better, but you're just on a, you know, I think sometimes when that stuff happens, and I don't know if it's because some white folks don't understand what happened or they're hopeful. You know what I'm saying? But right away, I mean, and then this whole process with us takes a matter of minutes, seconds. It's like boom, 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 boom. I think I'm describing to you, it takes a matter of seconds to where some, well, actually, white people be like, a couple of days, well, we really don't know what's going on. We really don't. They have to be told, oh, this was a white man. They're like, oh, well, we thought it was black people. We just going to go to war. And they still going to go to war. But They have to be told. We don't have to be told like that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to automatically. That's why black people are really should be really good detectives. If y'all want some shit solved, get you some black people on the SBI because we will solve some shit. Like real talk. I remember the time I did the Easter Bunny, and she put on a costume. Black people seen her shoes. She had on brand new shoes at the time. Black people seen her shoes and tracked her down. And some people actually knew who she was by the end of the day. I played it off like, no, that ain't her. That ain't her. But they knew just off her shoes. That's that sense we have, or this discovery we have. We can do a lot with Facebook. Actually, we can solve crimes with Facebook. That's how cold we are. But we got that eighth sense. And when this happened, like, nah, that ain't us. It's bad, but it's not us. You need to direct your anger to where it needs to be. That's not us. Um, this is scary times, man. I seen in the paper yesterday that now they're gonna look all the stuff that they're doing for him. If he was preaching hate, look all the stuff they've been do for him. He's gonna get an Air Force One ride back home, as if he's a politician or something. He's a podcaster. But the thing about it is, y'all don't know the history of this man. This man was with Trump since his first term. Imagine how radicalized he was when Trump lost the second time and claimed that he lost to everybody. Dude was right along with him. He kept on doing his podcast the whole time. That's what built him up to this. Yeah, Trump and Trump this and Trump that and Trump. And he didn't have FCC behind him, so he could say whatever he wanted to. He wasn't on Newsmax, which is really racist. He wasn't on Fox News. He didn't have to. He didn't have to play by the rules and guidelines. He was just on YouTube or Facebook or whatever. He didn't have to play by the guidelines and the rules. So he could say whatever he wanted to. This man's going around preaching without a degree, any degree I know, without a degree, without a preacher's license to ordain people. And they was freely letting colleges, bro. Listen, white colleges was letting him do concerts. Are y'all think about that? White colleges were allowing him to do mega concerts, and he's not a politician. He's a podcaster. I'm not saying podcast. I'm trying to be a podcast. I'm not saying podcasts are big, but think about that. Most podcasts like myself, I'm able to say whatever I want to say and give my views, but I try to be responsible about it. I could be like, yo, fuck that dude. You know what I'm saying? I could be like that, but I try to be responsible about it because I'm a man first. But they don't look at it like that. They look at it as we're going to make money off of this rage in America right now. We're going to make every last dime we can get and put people against each other. Woo, woo. Because if that wasn't the case, why go all the way to Utah, white college? I never seen them go to HBCUs and talk to black people. Like, y'all, this is what y'all need to do to get together. We've been talked about it, and we think we can do this and do this to help y'all, and let's pull each other up. That wasn't the message. The message was like, these people, those people are this way, those people are this way. That's why you need to be conservative. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You're putting people against each other. The Democrats are this way, and this, a lot of my family is Democrats. So what y'all have to understand is when y'all say Democrats or liberals or whatever, these demon words, a lot of my family members are naturally Democrats. So you condemning like 95% of my family right away. I would never do that to nobody, especially a white person. Even if you were a bad person, I wouldn't condemn your whole family. And that's what they doing. They just your whole family ain't no good. Like what? What are y'all preaching? It ain't good, bro. It's not good. But the thing about it is a lot of young white men are looking for something and they eating this stuff up. In my opinion, I believe that he was, well, he had a company. He was a millionaire at the time. He made himself into a millionaire. They put him in charge of an organization backed by Trump to go around to white colleges, not black colleges, white colleges, and start shaping the minds of the future voters in America to come out of college and be conservative. And not just that, just hate what black people stand for. Because those people in Utah probably never, they don't know about black people. They don't know the plight. They don't know. They might see rap videos and all that. That's it. So you can shape their minds right now while they're learning and trying to figure out life. You can shape their minds to whatever you want to. And that's what they were doing. They were indoctrinating. The same thing they said the Democrats was doing, which wasn't true. The same thing they were talking about, they went out and did it 10 times, tenfold, hundredfold. So I've never seen a professor sitting outside with thousands of white people. Never seen it. Never, ever, ever seen it, never heard of it, none of that, none of that. And then using the internet, and it was streamed. So it streamed to millions of people. So this dude, yes, he had thousands of people, white men around him, but it was streamed to millions. Millions. And they see all the white people around it like, yeah, that's the movement. So whatever he's saying, he God. He's there, what you would say, Martin Luther King. Straight up, real talk. They look at him, he was religious with no degree, but when you're dealing with people who just put people on because of color skin, then no degree, they automatically put him in that position to where he was probably bigger than Martin Luther King for white people. You feel what I'm saying? Because think of times when Martin Luther King just went outside, boom, and he 1,000 people, and he talking directly to them. Everything he's saying, especially if he get down on somebody, yo, black people ain't got no daddies, and that was getting millions of views, going viral. Every single clip, and they now that he's been shot, every single clip is going viral. Dead, and it was doing that when as it was live, but now it's going super viral. So all the hate stuff he was saying is still getting out there and still teaching people. And his hate speech is going to teach people for years. Years. That's why you have to be careful about who you allow to have that type of space, because now it's like he's a martyr. He's a martyr. The stuff we really have to be careful with, y'all. All right, thank y'all for watching. Well, I got to stop now. I've been writing for about 5 minutes. 30 minutes. Ooh, I'm almost 6 miles. So let's get this 6 mile in. Oh, no, I gotta go. Okay. We're going to stop there. That's a lot, 5 miles. Oh, my God. Shit. My butt hurts. You can leave your comments. We're on 3 different platforms. Leave your comments and I'll get back with you.